Hello, YouTube, and welcome to the Builder's Diaries, where I build a business and a body at the same time. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys a business update mostly. I'll probably touch on the body just a little bit. I'm not really building a body because I am currently in my candida diet protocol, so I'm still working through that. I'm almost done, so I'll kind of share a little bit about that. But today, I really want to talk about social media. I want to talk about some networking I'm doing and also my next steps in my business and how I'm going to make more money. So let's get into those awesome updates. Today is day 12 of no Instagram. I deleted Instagram off of my phone. I am not going on Instagram. That's not to say that I haven't been on there accidentally because, everything's all connected with Facebook and all this. And if I click on a message in my Facebook that's like in my I didn't know it was my Instagram because I have my Fit Raw Life. So I clicked on some message and it like brought me into some random messages. So I was like checking my business page in Instagram messages, but I wasn't really checking mine. And I saw that one of my good friends was like, "Are you dead? Where are you?" Because I wasn't on there and I was always messaging her. And I'm like, I've literally said I wasn't going to be on here. So whatever. But, not really going on it at all other than that. I'm definitely not going on it at all on my phone. I'm not scrolling at all. I'm not waking up and scrolling. I'm not going on there and checking messages and talking to people like I was. I was spending so much time, you guys, doing this. And it's funny stepping out of it. I really, really like it. I didn't think I was going to like it this much. Like I thought this was going to be really hard. I thought I want to go back to it. And I'm kind of thinking, how can I move my business forward without using Instagram? Like I'm almost like, I don't really want to go on Instagram. I'm growing on YouTube. I'm growing on Facebook. I'm connecting with people on Facebook in groups and posting my blogs on there. I'm getting comments from people, getting messages from people saying like they love that I'm posting a lot more. So I think Facebook is working for me well. And I think YouTube is working for me well. Instagram never did, and so I'm like, why would I spin on my wheels? And they say to just go all in on one platform, especially when you're starting. Like, why try to do all these platforms and post all these things? And every platform is different. What does good on Facebook doesn't do good on Instagram, and what does good on Instagram doesn't do good on YouTube. So you really need to figure out what's going to work for you. And I think eliminating Instagram was a really good choice for me. So I think at the end of those 30 days, I'll probably go on to it, maybe occasionally check it, but I don't think I'm going to go back to adding it on my phone. So another thing I did over my social media break, I guess, is I put a time limit on Facebook. So on my phone, I still have Facebook on my phone. I still have messages on my phone because I'm still on there. I'm still in groups. I'm still posting stories in there. I'm still a little bit active on Facebook. But I put a limit on there so I wasn't on it all the time. And so I'm really focusing, okay, go on Facebook when I'm on my computer, when I'm working, post my stuff when I'm working, don't just scroll through and don't do that. So I will say I've maxed out my time limit a couple of times the past couple of days. So I got to be better about that. But I've gone past it and it tells you can ignore it for the day. And I'm like, ignore it. I'll just keep staying on it. So I will say it's gotten worse, I think. And I'm finding myself scrolling a little bit more than I was before. So I do have to, be mindful of that because it's just a time waster, you guys. It's a time suck when you could be focusing and working on your business, especially someone like me that has 3 different things going on. I've got a full-time job. I've got 2 side businesses, one focused on health and one focused on business. So it's what, you only have so much time and you got to figure out, okay, what is the biggest priorities during that time? And you don't want time suckers. And social media can be a time sucker. Scrolling can be a time sucker and responding to people constantly can be a time sucker. So a lot of the people I was talking to on social media, they're now texting me. And so I'm just kind of training them. You can train people, if they only message you there, get them to text you. What's the difference there? And I've been able to take the people that I was talking to on Instagram and now I'm talking to them just through messages. So I've gotten that off and that's cool. So yeah, I'm pretty much probably going to stay off of Instagram, which is crazy. And I think not forever. I think once I get to the point where I can bring on a team, once I get to the point where I have more people other than just me, I'm able to focus on more than just one channel. I will bring Instagram in and I will have someone help and post, but I don't want to go on social media. I want someone to do it for me. Honestly, if someone could take over the social media part of it, I would be so happy. I don't really want to do that. So my goal is to get to the point where I can hire someone to take over the social media for me and grow those other channels. That's my next goal. But the next thing is I had a podcast scheduled today at 5, a couple hours, and he canceled. So we pushed it out for a couple more weeks. So that kind of sucks. I need to find some more podcasts. I need to get on more podcasts. I need to be talking about my message, talking about raw food, talking about how you can lift weights and eat raw and lose weight and feel amazing. So I need to be getting that out more. Probably after this, I will apply for 2 more podcasts. I'm in a couple podcasting groups on Facebook and those aren't as good as just going to Apple iTunes, top 200 podcasts and going in your niche and just going through those and messaging those. So I'm going to probably do that. It's one of the things that Russell Brunson says to do. He says, go through it, message every single one. And, at least hopefully one out of the 200 top podcasts in your niche will get back to you and you can be on there. But pitch it, tell them you have some unique story. Give them a reason to want you to be on there as a guest. And I've been a guest for probably 15 or so podcasts. So I have episodes I can send people of me and my personality and my energy, but I don't know. I haven't done this yet, but I think that's my next step, is to get into bigger podcasts where there's my audience. So I'm going to be doing a lot of networking this weekend. I am still in a step competition with my work. So I am in a step competition. I'm in third place. I don't think I'm going to be moving out of third place because the top two are very competitive and they're on their treadmills all day. I'm like literally not allowed to be on my treadmill all day at work because mine's very loud. So they don't want me on my treadmill all day at work. So it's not quite fair, but whatever. It is what it is. I don't want to walk. I'm walking about 25,000 to 30,000 steps a day right now in the challenge. I don't need to walk much more. I'm like, I don't eat all this fruit to be able to support walking, freaking 50 miles a day. I'm not going to do that. So I'm doing good. I'm doing enough and it's totally fine. But this weekend I am doing networking and it's walking networking. So Saturday I'm going to a speed dating, and I'm going to a speed dating for regular people, which is very interesting because I don't know. I'm almost going just to kind of see what it's like. I'm curious how they organize this, how they run this, how they schedule it, how it's done. Because how do you typically you sit in a room and all the women sit down and the guys will rotate, and that's what it says. I've literally never been, and so I'm like, how do you do that when you're hiking? Does everybody walk in a line and then people will just kind of walk and just walk behind you? Like, how do you do that when you're hiking? So I'm curious. And it's not really hiking. It's around the Newport Back Bay. So it's flat. It's just walking, probably a couple miles or so, but it's 2 hours of walking on Saturday. And then Sunday I have a networking event at the exact same place. So I'll be walking the exact same path that I did the night before with my speed dating as what I'm doing with my networking thing with women. So that one's better. But that one's really good. I can connect with people, and that one's really good for me to connect to local businesses that need email marketing services. So that one is kind of I will try to find some people that need email marketing services and see if I can get another client out of it. That would be great for me. So my last thing I wanted to touch on the business is I'm trying to figure out what I want to do to move forward. I want to take action on what I learned over Funnel Hacking Live. I don't want to just sit there with the notes that I had. I want to take action and put into place something I've been thinking about for a couple years now. I mean, I remember when I read Russell Brunson's Traffic Secrets and I was like, I'm going to keep this book and come back to it. I'm going to come back to it. But now is the time, you guys. This is the time that I come back to it. And this is the time that I do this. So I'm playing with the idea of, do I just do a tiny challenge or do I do a webinar? And I am taking my product, my $67 book, I am putting it into a offer. I am going to stack that offer, and it is no longer going to be a $67 offer. It's going to be, I would like it to get it to $997. If I could have a $997 funnel, I would be very happy. So I might start it at $497 and push it to $997 once I get a couple of people through it. So we'll see. But yeah, I might be starting that. So you're no longer just getting a 6-week challenge book. You're going to get a lot of other things for so much more value. I'm going to just power pack this offer with tons of things. And that's what I'm going to be selling, I think, because why not? I told myself I would give myself 8 months, really go all in. This is going all in. This is using what I learned. This is doing a webinar. This is literally from a billionaire telling me, do this. And so I'm going to film a webinar and do a webinar live once a week, every week, until it starts to, click, until I get a really, really good presentation, and then I can put it in a sales funnel. So writing a webinar script is number one. I have a book on how to do it. I have lots of help around me. It's kind of daunting because it's 90 minutes that typically these webinar scripts go for when you're selling a high ticket offer like that. So it's a lot to do. But yeah, I think I'm going to be writing a script for a webinar, and I'm considering doing tiny challenges. A tiny challenge would be basically a 3 to 5 day challenge for free, one-on-one with somebody. So say they're someone I'm messaging on Facebook. I actually have someone in mind right now that's talking to me about raw food. And I was like, hey, I could do a tiny challenge with this person. I would basically give them coaching for free for 3 days, and I would connect with them and basically almost leading them to my offer. And then at the end of the offer, I will make them an offer, basically, but tell them. So it's like, I tell them at the beginning of the challenge, I'm like, hey, I'm going to give you coaching for free. We're going to do these for 3 days, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to offer you I'm going to pitch you at the end. Okay. Just telling you up front. So you don't it's not, they're coming out of blue. They're not surprised. They know that you're going into this and you're going to pitch them and you expect a yes or a no at the end. If it's no, cool, whatever. I want a yes or a no so I can move on to the next. So my goal is to get 10 people to do tiny challenges with and pitch all those 10 people. And if I can close 2 or 3 of those people for $500 or $1,000, I'll be happy. So that's what I'm working towards. It's a lot, especially I can't work on it this weekend because I've got this networking. So I need to figure out taking off another day of work to really sit down and dial this in. I also need a funnel hack. So it's like I have all these things I need to do and so much little time. It's very hard when you to have a full-time job and you take on all these things. I really need to pick health or business and not do both and not work with, clients and also do my own thing. It's freaking difficult, but I like the difficult stuff, I guess. I don't know. The end of this year, I will make a decision though, because I'm not going to continue to do this. It's driving me insane. Like I'm scaling back my blogs as of next week. I told myself I would do 3 every single week up until, the end of this month. And I was like, I can no longer do this. I can't keep up with this. I start Spanish classes on September or October 1st. And so I'm like, I have a couple more weeks till I start a Spanish class. I'm like, how am I going to take Spanish classes, do this business, so there's so much. So I'm like, I really have to prioritize making money. You can stay very, very busy in as an entrepreneur. You can stay very busy. It's very easy to stay busy in the learning mode or but you got to be in the doing mode. You got to try to make money. So that's what I'm going to try to do is how do I make money first is work with clients. I'm going to work with clients first. And that's how I can bring in money. Almost instantly, I can bring in money because I get an affiliate commission when they start using the program that I need them to use for the funnels. So anyways, but that's my, dish on the business. Real quick on the body, I'm still in my candida diet protocol, I guess. I'm almost done. I feel a lot better. Like I feel so much better. I feel like I might have gotten rid of it a little bit less. I don't know if it's 100% gone, but I feel like it's definitely not as bad as it used to be. I was having major stomach problems. I'm not having pains anymore, which is really cool. I haven't been like perfect with my diet. I have been mixing fruit with foods I probably should not, like really mixing it, but eating, a fat meal a couple hours after a fruit, and I probably shouldn't do that. So I'm kind of not 100% there with the diet. It's not 100% dialed. My diet is definitely not as perfect as it was for my 6-week challenge. My 6-week challenge, my diet was dialed in and I didn't cheat at all. For 6 weeks, I did that. And so then it was really hard for me to jump into a health protocol and say, okay, I'm going to be very, very strict and not do anything outside of that again. It's hard, you guys. It's just so hard. And I'm saying this as someone who, I eat a lot more raw food than most people. I'm not 100% raw. I eat high raw. I'm a high raw vegan. Well, I'm a high raw plant-based eater because I'm not really even a vegan, you guys. It's funny. People just assume that I'm vegan. And I'm like, I'm not vegan. I'm not. I'm a high raw plant-based eater. So I don't know. But yeah, I'm almost done with the diet. Well, not the diet. I'm almost done with the protocol. I'm going to probably reach out to her maybe tomorrow, maybe today, maybe tonight. I don't know. And see if I can rescan next week and see where I'm at. I don't know if I need to go through parasites or if I need to keep going or if I got a lot of it and I can kind of just like pull off of it. I'd like to kind of see what I did in the last month or so. I think it's been about a month. It's weird. I've been just taking I've been taking tons of herbs, you guys, like tons of herbs. And I made my own herbs. So I made my own herbal tincture. It took 90 days. I think I actually let it, make or get like mixed and like, do all that. So I made my own herbal tincture and I'm actually taking that. It's a very, very strong very general herbal tincture, almost like a heal all, almost general, like it hits every single organ in my body and it hits the parasites as well. So I'm curious because I've been taking that heavily every day. So I'm like, hey, why not try my own tincture? Why not try my own medicine that I made? Because this is why I made it, is to put the body in balance and in alignment again and get the body functioning properly. So it was interesting because I jumped into another Facebook group and I was posting something today. I was like, I probably shouldn't post this because this is a group that's not a vegan group. It's not a fruit group. It's not a raw group, and it's a health group, I guess. But I posted my meals for the day and it was all fruit and green juice. And people were like, aren't you concerned about the fruit and like you're not eating any protein? And so I had to, educate and say, okay, well, as a trained detoxification specialist, I'm in a protocol right now and blah, blah, blah. And someone even commented, they were like, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just generally asking the question, like, how did you get candida if you eat a raw diet? And I was like, that's a great question, you guys, because I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm human, you guys. I mess up just like everyone else. I eat crap sometimes just like everyone else. Like I'm not perfect. People think that I'm so good on my diet. I'm like, no, I'm just like everyone else, And I was combining fruit with protein powder and fats. And so when you start to combine fruits with fats and proteins, you start to cause fermentation in the gut. And so I was doing this for weeks and for weeks and for weeks, and it was just building up. And so it got to the point where it was bad. And when I brought in the cooked vegan food, it was just like, oh God, it was really bad. Like I had pains, like it was not okay. And so I was just like, I'm not perfect. I was doing something that wasn't good, And so, and then I was aware of it. I changed it. I've changed patterns, and now I'm feeling a lot better. I feel a lot better. Like I don't feel like I have the stomach problems like I did before. So I'm curious to see what the test says. But again, it's not science, it's not based on any science either. So it's not like you have candida or you don't have candida. It's not, And so it's one of those, it's energetics. And am I resonating with the frequency anymore of that in the body? Who knows? But I don't know. Do I care? No, because I'm going to continue to eat a mostly raw plant-based diet. I'm going to continue to prioritize my health and continue to prioritize feeling good, and it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not something that, you for 30 days, you eat this way and then you're good to go and you can eat whatever you want. Like, no, it's a lifestyle. It's a process, and you just kind of gradually get there. And it's, over time, I'm eating more and more fruits every day. I'm choosing more and more and more fruits and less and less and less bad stuff, This time last year, my cheats were way worse than what my cheats are now, And so it changes, your taste buds change, but I'm human, just like everyone else, and I'm going to make mistakes, and I do, and whatever, it's that the body's amazing and it can bounce back. And that's why I've done all this work on the body, because for me, I even had a low level of parasites, and my practitioner was like, the body takes care of this stuff, because this is stuff that comes in the body and comes out of the body all the time. And the body takes care of this stuff. If your body is functioning properly, it'll do its job and it'll get rid of the parasites. And so she was like, I don't even know if I really want to go into a parasite protocol with you, because it's low. And I think that once you clean up the fungus, your body's going to be able to push the parasites out too. And I also agreed with that. So we'll see. I don't know, because the candida, the fungus, and the parasites are only there because of the conditions that you're putting in the body. So when you clean up the conditions in the body, you're going to clean up these things in the body that are only there to protect it. So I don't know. That's my take. But anyways, I'm going to go for the rest of the day. I will talk to you guys soon, and have a great day.